See how merciful Allah is? Allowing married women to be pillaged and had sex with? Allah is very merciful here, isn't he? Is that mercy? What do you think about that, H21? Tell me. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm tired and sad.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that sadness, because that means that your convictions, your morality surpasses the morality of Muhammad and the Quran. You're better than that. I feel sadness too reading this. And I think a lot of the sadness will come with you believing that Islam was good, believing that Islam, helped slaves, treated them well with kindness. But that's just not the truth. That's not the case. This was some evil stuff being allowed to be done. Evil stuff. Let me show you the contrast. I don't want you to just leave. H21, you ready?
Yes. Okay. So let's go. You'll then respond. I will not respond to you after that because I want to go to my questions. Okay? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. The response that I gave you is that it's not contradiction because it's detailed as guidance and salvation, and doesn't mean every single verse is detailed explanation, just guidance and salvation. So overall, according to my research, it isn't a contradiction. So can you respond? Then we can go to my questions. Is that okay?
Sure. I'm gonna put the verse on the screen, and I want you to tell me if it qualifies it in that way, that it's not a detailed explanation of everything, but it's a detailed explanation of everything concerning your guidance. So I want to see if it says that. If it says that, then you have a point. If it doesn't, then you have a problem. Okay?
All right.
So here's the verse. Over here on the left side, it says, "Indeed, in their stories, there is a lesson for men of understanding. It is not a forged statement, but a confirmation of Allah's existing books." Skipping the brackets. "And a detailed explanation of everything, and a guide, and a mercy for the people who believe." So does it say that it's a detailed explanation of everything concerning your guidance? Or does it simply just say generally that it is a detailed explanation of everything and it's a guide?
Fair enough, but I'll give it to you. But yet again, according to my research, it says salvation. But fair enough to you. Everyone has.
I know. According to your research, is that research wrong based on what the verse says?
If it's taken out of context or in context, but you can have a fair point. You can have your point.
No, it's not. I don't want to just have my point. I want you to also have the point. Can we agree that the verse does not say that it is a detailed explanation of everything concerning your guidance? We agree it does not say that, right?
Yeah.
And we agree that it just blatantly, generally just says that it's a detailed explanation of everything. It doesn't qualify what that everything is. So it just says everything, right?
Right.
Okay. So if somebody else is saying the opposite of what this blatantly, clearly says verbatim, what we're looking at, then they're wrong. If they say and they try to qualify everything to be everything regarding your guidance, that's false according to the verse. If they say everything regarding your mercy, that's false according to the verse. If they say everything that you just need to know for your deen, that's false according to this verse, because it's not just about those things. Yes, it's a detailed explanation of your guidance, also your mercy, also things you need to know, things you don't need to know. It's a detailed explanation of everything. And so if there are verses in the Quran that are not detailed and explained, then therefore you have a contradiction. Right?
All right.
Okay. So do we agree for now that this is a contradiction?
For now, we can agree this is a contradiction. I'll come back to you again and do.
Why are you still a Muslim?
I have to check on Arabic as well, maybe. Yes, Arabic passed the. I didn't pass my test because it's not an Arabic driving license. But let's.
Bro, you got a contradiction in the Quran, man. You can't be Muslim anymore, man.
I still don't believe it's a contradiction because yet again, like if we say like a Muslim beats a Christianity, let's say that if a Christian versus Muslim is a debate, Muslims will say the Muslim one and the Christians say the Christian one.
Not all the time.
So we don't. It's just based on opinions. This one I know this is a Quran and this is a verse.
We're not talking about opinion. Am I talking to you about my opinion here? Am I telling you that it's my opinion that the Quran says what is highlighted on the screen?
Yeah.
Is that just tell me, is that my opinion or does it say what it says?
It says what it says.
So I'm not giving my opinion. I wouldn't do that to you. My opinion doesn't matter. What matters is what it says. Because H21, what's the only thing we do around here, H21?
I don't know. Are you talking about your channel?
Yeah, what's the only thing we do around here? You don't know yet?
I just started. I don't know yet.
Started watching?
Yes.
Look at the comments. What are the comment section telling you? You see the comments?
We just read.
That's it. We just read. We don't give our opinion. We don't give our 2 cents. We just read. And we go with what the text says, bro.
All right. Great.
So then objectively, not opinion-based, objectively, this is a contradiction, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Then why are you still a Muslim? Because Allah says this is how you know that this Quran is not from God, if it has contradictions in it. That's what the Quran says. So why are you still a Muslim when you can clearly see a contradiction?
I might not.
What?
I might not know. I might not know the context and.
No, don't do that to yourself. You're much smarter than that. You've done your research. You've looked at this. You've looked at other explanations. You've done your dirty work. You've looked, which is why I'm proud of you for looking, researching, and coming back with an explanation that you thought worked. I honor you for that. Don't sell yourself short. You know what this is saying. You're smart enough to have reading comprehension and to understand what the words on the page said. You're not dumb. So don't play dumb. Don't be like the other guys that you see me deal with. And even you, remember, even you had to tell one of the guys to go watch his clip back. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, to this day, when I just randomly think about that, I'd be dying laughing, bro. You even know, like, you notice this stuff. So you're not like that. You're not those guys where you got to play dumb and you can't admit stuff. You're not like that. You've done your research. You looked into this. You tried to find an explanation. You looked at the tafsir. You looked into this. You got to just be honest and let it be what it is. It's a contradiction. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
You know? So think about this, man. I'll let you ask your next questions. Think about this, but think about this seriously. The Quran says if it has contradictions in it, then you know it's not from Allah. So because this is a contradiction, You and I both know that it's not from Allah. So I have a good reason to reject Islam. You have a good reason to leave Islam. So let's keep going. So what's your question?
All right. So I want to ask a question about, is Luke an eyewitness?
No.
No.
No, Luke is not an eyewitness. Luke gets his testimony from eyewitnesses. So Luke's writing is an eyewitness account, but he himself was not one of those eyewitnesses. He's interviewing the eyewitnesses.
All right. Good answer. Let's go with the. Is Christianity violent?
Is Christianity violent? No, it's not violent.
All right. Let's go to 1 Samuel 15:3 and Exodus 15:3.
Okay.
1 Samuel 15:3 says enduring, this is warfare, to kill women, children, babies, animals, and trees, and men. Well, destroy trees and kill animals. And Exodus 15:3 says, God is a man of war.
Mm-hmm. So he fights on behalf of his people. So what is your question here?
The question here is, this verse is, when I'm reading it, it's violent. So how do you debunk it or refute it? Because 1 Samuel 15:3 and Exodus 15:3,
there's nothing to refute. This is during war. They were warring against the other nations. Yeah. When you asked is Christianity violent? From what I understood for your question was, does Christianity promote violence and spread? Like, does it teach to spread the religion through violence? Is that permissible? And the answer to that is no. Now, are there wars that happened in the past, like in the scriptures, like with the Jews and the Canaanites and all these other different nations? Yes. The Amalekites, yes. There's wars that happen. However, when you look and you read the Old Testament, God gives them borders. They were not allowed to go to other nations that God did not give to them and say that you can have these. They were not allowed to go outside of that and like plunder people and take over just because they had the numbers or the strength and spread the religion of Judaism or the way of Yahweh. They couldn't do that.
Okay, but yet again, like Islam, Allah says, do not kill women and children during war, or elderly and sick person during war. Like yet again, yes, you're saying Christianity does not promote violence, but in the war, it tells you to kill women and kids and babies.
You're in the Hadith. It says that you can kill women and babies.
Hadith.
Mm-hmm.
Hadith. It says.
Yeah, when they were asked when they were plundering different villages and stuff, they asked Muhammad, "What about the women and children?" And he said, "They are from among them." Oh well.
So you're saying that Muhammad killed them?
No, I'm not saying that Muhammad personally killed them. I'm saying that he allowed it. It was permissible. They were casualties of war.
Like widows or like
it doesn't say what kind. It just says women and children. What about the
if you
women
say, if you say like slaves, then I would if I know it does not say it, but if it's slaves, then I can like say that Islam does treat slaves well.
No, it doesn't. Muhammad sold them.
It does.
And slept with them.
I think it's Surah like 1913.
No, they did not treat slaves well. They were able to sleep with them even if they were married. What are you talking about?
I mean, no, like feed them and stuff like that.
And sleep with them, even if their husbands are still alive and they're married to their husbands. You're allowed to take that woman and sleep with her. Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
okay to sleep? Do you think it's okay to sleep with a married woman?
No.
So, but the Quran and the Hadith teach that if you go out and you capture a woman who's married, you can sleep with her, even while her husband is there. She's your booty. She's your spoil of war. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Let me show it to you, man. Let me show it to you so you can see it for yourself. I'm gonna go to so the chapter that I'm referring to is chapter 4, verse 24. And so I'm gonna give you Ibn Kathir's tafsir where he quotes the hadith about it, and then I'm gonna show you the other hadiths about it. Okay. So look at this. Let's do this. I'm about to show you, man. This Logic, your screen is blurry. Who's got Logic Apologetics? What the heck is that? Or was that Life commented on my channel? My screen's blurry again. There we go. Not blurry anymore. Yeah, it's probably Life. All right. Sorry. So here's 424. You can see the screen?
Yeah, I can.
All right. And then on the right side, I have the hadith. And I'll just show you that in a little bit. But first, we're going to look at the left side, okay? And we're going to look at Ibn Kathir's tafsir on this. So watch this. Forbidding women already married, except for female slaves. So you can have female slaves even if they're married, bro. You can commit adultery with them. That's crazy. Also forbidden are women already married, except those whom your right hand possesses. This ayah means, this is Ibn Kathir talking, this ayah means you are prohibited from marrying women who are already married, except those whom your right hand possesses, except those whom you acquire through war. For you are allowed such women after making sure they are not pregnant. Imam Ahmed recorded that Abu Sa'id al-Kurdi said, now listen to this, we captured some women from the area of Al-Tas who were already married, and we disliked having sexual relations with them because they already had husbands. So these Muslims who won the war, they even had enough sense. Like, I don't know if it's okay for us to sleep with these women because they're married. They're married. So they knew that wouldn't be okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now watch what happens further. So we asked the Prophet about this matter, and this ayah was revealed. Also forbidden are women already married, except those whom your right hand possesses. So what happened? So they went to Muhammad about it because they didn't know if they were allowed to sleep with these women because they were already married, even though they were captured slaves now. So Muhammad gets this revelation that says that you can sleep with them. So what do they do as a result? Consequently, we had sexual relations with these women. This is the wording collected in Jamiat Tirmidhi, An-Nasai, Ibn Jarir, and Sahih Muslim. Okay? So the Quran allows, and the Hadith, Muhammad permits committing adultery, sleeping with captured slaves who are married. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that a woman who is married and you go and you plunder her village and you take her as a captive and her husband's still alive and she's still married, do you think that she would willingly sleep with you?
No.
So then it's very likely that this is promoting rape as well. Not just adultery with these women, but it's very likely these women were unwilling, but they took them anyway and had sex with them anyway while their husbands are there and alive. Look, here's Jamiat Tirmidhi on the right. We got some captives on the day of Al-Tas, and they had husbands among their people. Their husbands are right there. They mentioned that to the messenger of Allah. So the following was revealed. and women who are already married, except those whom your right hand possesses. You can have those married women. We got another one. Oh, hold on. Here, look at another one, man. Where's my, is this the one? Yeah. Yep. It was narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Kurdi that the Prophet Allah sent an army to Al-Tas. They met the enemy, fought them, and prevailed over them. They acquired female prisoners who had husbands among the idolaters. They had their husbands. They were married. The Muslims felt reluctant to be intimate with them. They were hesitant. They even had enough conscious sense to be able to be like, I don't think this is okay. But guess what happened? Allah stepped in and with all of his mercy saved the day and said, don't worry, men. Married women are forbidden for you unless they are those whom your right hand possesses. This is permissible for you once they have completed their iddah. Make sure they're not pregnant. See how merciful Allah is, allowing married women to be pillaged and had sex with. Allah is very merciful here, isn't he? Is that mercy? What do you think about that, H21? Tell me. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm tired and sad.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that sadness, because that means that your convictions, your morality surpasses the morality of Muhammad and the Quran. You're better than that. I feel sadness too reading this. And I think a lot of the sadness will come with you believing that Islam was good, believing that Islam, helped slaves, treated them well with kindness. But that's just not the truth. That's not the case. This was some evil stuff being allowed to be done. Evil stuff. Let me show you the contrast. I don't want you to just leave off of this like just have that sadness in you. Look at this. Look at what God ordered in the Torah. Let me show you what happens in the Torah regarding captives. 21. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 10 to 14. Watch what it says here. It's on the right. You can see the screen on the right?
Yes.
So watch what it says. This is in the law, man. This is way before the Quran came, way before Islam. Right? Look at what God ordains. He says, when you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God gives them into your hand, and you take them captive, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire to take her to be your wife. You can't just sleep with her. You can't just have her. She's not your slave. You take her to be your wife. Meaning she's single. She's not married. Right? This is what happens. You bring her home to your house. She shall shave her head and pare her nails, meaning she's able to groom herself. And she shall take off the clothes in which she was captured. So give her new clothes, give her fresh clothes, let her groom herself, and she shall remain in your house and lament her father and her mother a full month. So you need to give her space to be able to mourn her family after this battle, after what's gone on. Give her some time, right? You have to treat her with dignity. She's able to groom herself. You give her new clothes, fresh clothes. Not the captured clothes that she was wearing. Give her some clean, fresh clothes. And she is able to, you're supposed to house her, give her housing, and let her grieve. Let her grieve her family. Right? Let her get adjusted to this new life, this new area. She's in a new community now. She's in Israel now. So let her get acclimated. Then it says, so after You've housed her. She's grieved. After all of that, then you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. But if you no longer delight in her, let's say things aren't working out, watch how you're supposed to treat her. You shall let her go wherever she wants, but you shall not sell her for money, nor shall you treat her as a slave, since you have humiliated her. See, God gives the captured woman dignity, gives her grace, gives her housing, gives her status, freedom, care. This is in the law, in the Torah, in Deuteronomy, so far away from what we saw, what the Quran and the Hadith teach on how to treat the captive woman. You're allowed to sleep with her even if she's married, regardless of what she wants. You don't need her consent. And she's your slave. You see the difference?
Yes.
I'm calling you to God, not me. God is calling you to a better way, man. H21, you've been coming here, and it's for a reason, bro. God has been calling you to a better way, the true way. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not the God of Islam, bro. He's not. It's a complete and utter difference, a contradiction with the quality of God in the Bible, in the Torah, and the gospel, than what you see in Allah of Islam. You see that the God of the Bible, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God that Jesus came and made known to us in the flesh, he comes and he demonstrates to you, not just in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, how gracious he is, how patient he is, how loving he is. Yes, he's wrathful. Yes, he goes to war for his people, for his loved ones. And that would include you as a believer. He'd go to war for you. He'd go to war for you. You're his child. That's who God is. He fights on our behalf, and he takes vengeance for us. We don't have to do it ourselves. It's completely different. So he's calling you to a better way, man. He's calling you, leave this religion that has contradictions, that has moral depravity, that promotes sin, that allows you, that gives you an excuse to commit adultery. Right. In the Torah, God says, thou shalt not commit adultery. You're familiar with the 10 Commandments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. But the Quran gives an excuse. Thou shalt not commit adultery except with your female captive slave. That's disgusting. That's not God. That's Satan. Okay. So I know you said you're tired. Think about this, bro. Keep coming back. Keep coming. You can ask me anything. You can come up on any of my streams. You're always welcome. Okay. But really think about this. All right. Take care, man. Have a good night. Get some good sleep. Okay.
All right. Good night.
All right. Peace, bro. Guys, pray for him. Pray for him. Man. Pray for him. Pray for H21. This is what Islam does, man. Deceives you, puts you in darkness, and man, just pray for him. He said he felt tired and he felt sad. It took the wind out of him. That took the wind out of him seeing this stuff. But he keeps on, doing his research and coming back with explanation he thinks works, and he's able to concede things and accept things, be honest with things. Pray for him. Pray for H21, man. Pray for us to have another little brother in the faith who has a zeal for God. You see, he's coming. He has a zeal for God. He wants to serve God. He wants to have the true faith in God. He has that zeal. He's just misguided. Okay.